Let's talk about putting your priorities on calendar. Some of us, so many of us don't even have calendars, personal calendars. Do we? By show of hands, how many of us have personal calendars? Personal calendars. I see 2 people, 3 people in the room. Personal calendars. Like, do you ever anticipate that this is how my year is going to be? Do you ever plan for your year? It could be a quarter, maybe not a full year. It could be not a full quarter, but a month. And you're like, I told you that I've had a few issues with my memory ever since Asahel came. And my friend, I had to live on the dot of my calendar. Like literally, I wake up every day and I would put an alarm in my phone and I would remind myself to check my journal, to check my calendar, and to make sure that I sync my day with everything. Otherwise, I would forget meetings, I would forget calls, I would forget public speaking meetings, I would forget. I know some of you women have not realized that, but when you go through a certain amount of depression after giving birth, your brain is affected to some extent. And we have to accept it, that it is normal. But again, it's normal to have self-care routine to make sure that you actually get back into the normal productivity. And myself, keeping a calendar, a journal, and having an alarm. I don't know, one day if you ever hear Tim speak about my alarm, you will laugh and fall to the ground. He's like, that is total punishment. My friend, when it rings, even the dogs will wake up. Because I can't miss anything. I can't. And I need to get into the hype. So, placing things on your calendar or your priorities on calendar and say, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. You anticipate, you plan it so that you can have an organized life. Some of us are living accidental lives. Bweba kubira gamba, embaga yako jawo yancha. Nogamba mukama. Naera noga wange nino jibeerako. Bagamba ate ku church waliyo kino. Simanyi meeting y'abafumbo. Bagamba banange era nino jibeera era no jibeerako. So like we fall into things. We keep bumping into things. But if you have planned, when someone tells you that, you know what, there is this thing on Saturday, you're like, no. Saturday is actually my me time. Or Saturday is my son's sport day. Or Saturday is, I have a speaking engagement here. So you look, have you ever talked to people who sound so organized? Like, they sound like they're from another planet. Like, how do you have your life together like that? How do you know? Like, for most of the times when people are booking me for speaking engagements, like right now, whoever is booking me, I'm telling them the only time they can book is in February. Because I am fully booked. And they usually tell me, like, one way I was someone close to me, biadala, or as in, how can she have her life so organized that she knows what's going to happen in December and she knows what's going to happen in January? But it's a habit that I have cultivated over time. Okay? So that means you just can't start overnight. You have to cultivate because you will fall off the wagon, you will forget, you will bring yourself back, beat yourself over it, but again, do not beat yourself forever. Come back and stay in alignment. And that is how, the other day I was talking to Coach Zai and I was telling her, my week has been swamped. And then she told me, she told me, you didn't prepare me enough for a swamped life. And indeed, no one can prepare you enough for a swamped life. Your time will be overbooked, and if you're not careful, you will not have time for yourself. But remember, we said your calendar will help you if you have an organizational tool, okay? Initiators invest time in people. Initiators invest time in people. While reactors spend time with people. Initiators invest time. Like, my time is so valuable. If I am giving it to you, it must be for the mutual benefit. It might not be money, but it can be satisfaction versus mentoring you. I'm investing in you. Otherwise, it's not chinyumo that lero chakubidde machindi. Tugende. Ani agende. Ne Julius wamukubidde. Ne Robin agenda. Kale, tugende. Mbasangeyo. You didn't have a program. You're spending time with people. As in, luali, kusaga, bandwagon. You have not programmed for it. You have not prepared for it. Now, that does not mean that we cannot loosen up. I do loosen up, right? And then, being that my husband and I actually are the kind of people that do not need a lot more planning. Remember last time I told you about blood groups? And I told you people that belong to, let's see, blood group B. If you're here, B, you belong to B. Hands up. Okay. And by show, let me just find out from you. Do you prefer someone tells you something prior to before it happening, or you prefer someone tells you last minute that this is going to happen? Prior. Group Bs, are you here? Do you all agree to that? Group O, where are you? Group O. Both? Okay. If someone told you, and it's something that is in your power to do, and they told you last minute, would you be for it? My friend, we are the kinds who would say, let's pack our bags and go now. And we both of us, we will pack our bags and go. As in, spontaneous. Very spontaneous. And I didn't know that those things actually correlated. Because I used to have couples in my office fighting all the time. While the woman, and I don't know why, but we have many women having blood group B than men. And then we have, but again, that blood group is more in the Asians and Europeans than it is in Africa. So you would have more O's in Africa. So I didn't, because I had women, and then the men, by the way, would be like, what's wrong with this woman? You've
every December we organize a couples retreat. So there is this guy, Bambi, he went ahead and bought a ticket for the wife and he wanted to surprise this woman. But the woman said, they don't surprise me. The girl jammed to go. $720 in Uganda. She refused. And said, next time you tell me, why do you want to surprise me when we live together? She was justifying, And said, don't surprise me. Yet there are people, Bambi, even in this room, they are dying for surprises.
Like, seriously, they will have an issue with it. Not because by name Pisembi, not because they don't love you, not because, but they are planners and they are strategic. And I told you, in Japan, the system to actually initiate you into army is you through your blood group. Because all the B's and A's are in office, strategizing and planning for the war. Guess what? Group O, we are the front line. Fetukuba masasi. Why? Because when you say, there is a war, it's the group O will run for the gun before you even tell them. They will ask where, before even knowing where the war is. Group B would be, first explain to me, when did this war start? Who are we fighting with? Why are we fighting? What is the end result? Can't we have an agreement? Can we do a peace talk? Everyone that plans for a peace talk is B and A. But blood group O. Buli abuuka ku kabangali ku Nuupu. Buli ayokya ebipiira. Buli abeera wali tetuvaawo ng'obulamu tebabubaze. Tetuvaawo. Oh. They don't need much. They don't need bribing. They don't need preparing. They don't need convincing. Give them what to do, and they will do it. Now, it's only that some of us control ourselves. Otherwise, nange mwandi nsanze njo sebipira. Like, serious. How many of you have ever been in a car And you see akatabanguko and you wished you were you were in the middle of it. I have wished I was in the corridor. And I'm like, olya ejinja likubye katono. And I'm like, God save me. Where is this coming from? Nga siri muntu wa buvuyo. You know? And then some of us who have been brought up in traumatic experiences, we will hide our personalities by being introverts. But when in other environments we are extroverted, we become the life of the party. And then when we come Jebatumanyi Dent, we are introverts, and then we become introverts again. But it's an act. And then we are very good at it. Very good at it. So investing in people is very key. Whether you're a business person, you can never have a flourishing business until you invest in people. Whether you're a human resource manager, whether you are working in a certain organization, investing in people. Investing in people means your undivided attention. Investing in people means being so intentional about your relationship with them. Picking a phone and calling them, right? When someone is sick, you ask and even follow up and say, "Wangambi omwana mulwadde ali atya." That is investing in people. When someone loses someone and you say, "You know what? Mugenda kuziika wa." You know tetudda buto. And you're like, "You know what? Ngenda kwefiriza. I will go and be there for this person." And for abakuze, by the way, you don't just do it for yourself, you do it for your children. So you invest in people. You can invest in them by praying for them. When someone tells you, "I prayed for you," do you know how soothing it is? You invest in people in their low moments, you invest in them in their highest moments. Both moments, even in their intermediary moments, you invest in them. Now, you don't just spend time with people, because when you spend time with people, they can easily forget what you did. They will forget Olwali. They will forget, things that you did casually. But when you're intentional about what you do, for example, you tell someone that, "You know what? Tetulina sente naye akatono ke tulina tugenda kagabana." You're investing in them. Okay? Holding someone's hand is investing time in them. And guess what? That investment has returns on investment. It has returns on investment. Spending time with people does not have returns on investment, because that is wasted time. So I want you to ask yourself, whenever you are with someone, are you investing in them or you're spending time with them? The next time you're hanging out with someone, be very deliberate. The next time you go to see someone, the next time, even if you go to your home, let your time be valuable, that when you give it to someone, they really feel like, "You know what? She went out of her way." That is how people get respected. Have you seen people who have too much time? When they show up for a mukolo, what do we say? Wanji? Agamba, yatuuse dda. Bana inewa najjawo. Kwegamba, like everyone feels like your time is not. But has someone ever come, newankubadde muganda wo, najja ewamwe ku mukolo gwo, and you feel like, "Oyina okumwebaza, omugamba webale kumbeererawo." Muganda wo yabadde talina kyakola, alina okubeererawo. Naye ate obudde bwe ng'obuvaluinga nnyo. Like obudde bwe tabujaajamya. She does not just spend time with people. She invests time in. Yesterday I was at my young sister's introduction. I was her matron. But guess what? I don't know how to do it halfway. At first I was like, "No, I'm not going to be." Because I know if I'm invested in something, I'm actually over-invested. I will take over the spokesperson. He will work on my program. I will tell him, "Omugole mufulumya kusaawa bweziti, ayambadde bwati, luno lwe luyimba olugenda okuddako, abamuwerekera bambadde bwe bati." I will dictate when the engagement is going to happen, when the cake is going to be cut. Why? Because I want it to be successful, and I want her day to end and she will be like, I had the best day in my life. And she called me at midnight after arriving at my home. And she was like, Hilda, tomanyi kye wankoledde. Neyanziza. And I'm like, I'm your sister. You don't have to thank me. Nangamba, no. You, apart from being my sister, you invested your money, you invested your time, and you stood at the door and made everything happen. Nechifaananyi kyebeera bidde ne mugamba ne ngamba kamera oyina okikuba kino. Like serious, because it's memories. Omukolo tebaguddamu. So when you next time when you if you know you will not invest time, you would rather say no. If you say I will do it to the rightful way it's supposed, to the dot of how it's supposed to be done. Right? We are learning to be leaders, and leaders that are going to matter, leaders that are going to leave a legacy. Even with your children, invest time with them, do not spend time with them. Let every time that you are with them count. And when it counts, you will see it on their eyes. Their eyes will glow. Their little mouths will be filled with laughter and smiles. Why? Because Ariel will know, and Ariela, that this time, usually our mother plays with us. And guess what? They will even tell me, Mommy, we are going to roll. We are going to roll in the sitting room. And I will make sure that I roll. Like seriously. We will beat ourselves, we will scratch ourselves, we will tickle ourselves, we will do everything stupid. I call it stupid because in that moment, if anyone saw me, would be like, but I'm investing time in. So they know that our mother has time for us. Okay? But we spend too much time with our children, and it's quantity because it's too much, but not quality. When you invest time in people, it's quality time. When you spend time with people, that's quantity. But remember, it does not have returns on investment. Okay? So, I want you to, that means being value-based, right? Do you see where it's leading you? Being value-based. That whatever you do is very valuable. But you don't just do it for the sake of doing it, but you do it with a lot of value. How many of us say that we have picked a lot from this session? Okay, I would love to have 5 people that are going to mention what they have learned as we switch into another session. 5 people.
I've been part of the Mentorship Academy, how I joined. My friend invited me for the coach experience, and Major Coach announced about joining the Mentorship Academy, and then we signed up. So when we signed up, I had lost a job, I didn't have money well and everything. So when we start off with assignments, I am like, I'm dropping off the course because I don't have money. She further saw more potential in me, and I became president. And being a president was a dream come true. I was telling them, like, I made positive affirmations about myself that this year, I either have to be president, Mothers Union in the Anglican Church. I am not married, meanwhile, not even engaged. But I wanted to be president or Rotary Club. But through her, like, she was an angel. She made me president. So I ticked that off that. I became president, and I know I'll be president for even the other 2. So as I finish, I was so, like, I was depressed. I've lost so many things and everything. But when she made me president, that showed me that, Susan, someone believes in you. You're not useless as you think. So it gave me a lot of energy. And me, I don't like people who are on my case. Like, I am self-driven. So she gave me a lot of peace of, she wasn't on me, but I could do what I do. Then I tell her. And then to lead other people was really a blessing. Like, I love being a leader. Yes. And then the other thing, I started up an e-book reading club. I've been under the mentorship of Coach Fifi in the Focus Tribe. So she would wake us up every morning, and then you tell us the book you've read, what you've learned, and do all that. Because I am looking for money, quickly, I started up an ebook reading club. Thank you so much, Coach Fifi. I got that from you. And then I have a goal setting class. I do M&E, but you realize those goals we set at office are too serious to increase the number by 80% and ratios and what. But this goal setting is really fun, and it's a bit it's a bit broken down into pieces. So it wasn't too serious, and I started up a goal setting class online, and I get people. I even got a lawyer from Zambia. We set goals. And he was admitted in the University of Lusaka, Zambia, for an MBA. So I am a powerful lady. And I know I am still president in many others. I've told you I love being a leader. So thank you so much, everyone.
Awesome, awesome. There is potential in each one of us. And it's very possible that maybe you might not see it in yourself. Maybe someone else will notice. But just know there is a seed inside of you. And I know that for so many of you, you have something boiling inside of you. You're not even settled. But you feel like, I don't have confidence. How can I approach? How can I even start? How can I become? No. I will tell you that for most of the people that I deal with, I have never met in this life. We meet, we become sisters, and we grow a family, and then we become one. And then when you enter my inner circle, you stay in my inner circle forever. So thank you so much, Coach Susie.
Yeah, I feel so honored standing here. Major Coach, thank you so much. I remember I came here, my first meeting, I wouldn't even face people. I entered with my cousin, and we sat right there. I feel so bad she's not around to see me speak today. Now, when I came, personally, I'm a married woman. I'm a mother of 6 children. And now, the way you've said, wow, I also look at myself and wonder, wow, where did this ones come from? Yes. But I've been consumed with staying home. You stay home and all you're seeing is these kids are not eating. You give them porridge, they've poured it. You're in that mess of cleaning up, then you're washing up, then you get it. That's the life I was in. And I'm an architect by profession, but I'd put my profession aside. I had a standing job, which I put down. I was like, I cannot leave my kids to the maid, because maids would come and go. I remember my grandmother, when I went to the village, she always sympathizes. She would tell my other sister, my other aunt is telling me, you help that girl. Take some kids away from her, let her have life. You get my picture, eh? Now, I was in this life whereby I'm enclosed. My life is about children. What have they eaten? Pampers. And I'm someone who would have breakfast for them, then we have a little snack, then we have lunch. Like Programming. Now, my life, I was like enclosed. Now, when I came that day, the very first time, actually for me, because I was not a social media person, I didn't know about Bahati. But a cousin of mine told me, this lady charges money to meet people. And here is a chance, a free chance. It is free entrance. And I was like, are you sure? Who is she? I didn't even know anything. Because I was always inside with children, breastfeeding. Not even watching TV, because I'm not a TV person. Actually, I will thank Fiona later. I love reading. It was my hobby. But I didn't have time to read. I was always cooking. I was telling my husband, thanks to him, he's not here, but I have a loving husband. And very supportive. Now, I've forgotten where I had reached. But anyway, I love telling stories, but I didn't come here for stories. What I've come to tell you is I have been transformed. Last week, my husband made a comment, and for me, I laughed. My husband said, I don't know what I said. I don't remember the conversation. But he said, I don't know what is giving you so much power these days. Are you hearing that statement? Now, for me, it was a tick for me because I wanted him to realize I'm no longer the other person. Today I was telling Coach Vero, I speak up and speak. I stand up and speak. When Coach Susan asked me if I should speak, there was a lot in my life this week. And I think it was targeting my activation. I was going to miss it. A lot was happening. My kids are very healthy. But this week they were all sick. All of them. I have 6 children. It started from last Friday when I left here, hold my hand. The first one got sick, the second one on Sunday, the third, they were all showing symptoms of like throwing up, then diarrheating, then they were losing weight. There are people, they don't eat, so you have to like be on them. So the whole week, my children were sick. Secondly, my maid had applied to go abroad, so she told me they've called me for training, I'm going, same week. And then the third thing is, as I was moving, my phone fell down and blacked out. They told me the screen had stopped, like it can't work anymore. And that was, I think, 2 days ago. So I didn't know what was going on the group. I was wondering what announcements. I didn't even know where the venue was. Guys, I'm sorry if I sound like naive, but that's the world I was in. Too busy, you're up and down. And today when I was ironing, my dress got burnt. So the devil rises up before you rise up, guys. I thank Coach Fiona. These last weeks I've not been so much on the call, but I miss it. Many times I would turn on the call. We wake up early morning. I used to be a sleeper. We wake up early morning with that lady, Coach Fifi, the focus tribe. We are really focused ladies. If you get in touch with one focused lady, you'll feel the focus. We speak about focus. I used to be not very disorganized, but I didn't have a program. Today, if you visit my home, I call all of you to come and visit my home. I am very organized. I have 6 children, but very organized. I'll make it, like on a Saturday, everyone knows I wake up, now Amida has gone, but they'll wake up, one will mop the house, the other one will wash utensils, the other one will know. I'm washing clothes, I give them their clothes, so they wash in the first basin, the second bond, second basin, third bond. So if you come at 11, we are done. Homework is done. Housework is done. Those who want to play, the candidate is reading books, the other one's gone TV. We are so organized. Thanks to hold my hand. If you tell me to talk, I can finish at 9 o'clock. But I encourage all of you. If you're here and you're a first time, I was also a first time, I sat there. I didn't talk to anyone actually. When the session, before it ended, we rushed out and went. Now my cousin is someone who feels, for them they did feel they need help. I felt I was in the right space. When I reached home, I actually felt bad I wasn't put on the WhatsApp group that very week. So I was wondering. When I came the next Friday, they told me there were WhatsApp groups. So I called. I don't remember whom I called. I don't remember. But I talked to some lady and I told her, what was happening with the WhatsApp group? Like I wanted to go through all the messages to see what I had missed. That is how yearning I was. I'm calling upon you. It is a yearning heart that grows. Yearning heart. Are you tired of where you are? I was tired. I was tired of that place where every time you're in Pampers, every time you're the kid, mommy, and I'd become like a teacher. They say teachers don't grow. Actually, you say I don't grow. I'm always with kids. If I tell you my age, you cannot believe it. I'm very old. But anyway, I wish all of you would come up and join the mentorship. It has changed my life. It has. I'm a last born in my home, and I never used to speak. They see you as a child. Even when I was getting married, they asked me, why are you getting married? You first finish, first enjoy. I was working then. And they told me, first enjoy your money, and marriage is stress. I said, no, marriage is what you make it. It is not stress. If people are stressed, you want the stress. So they could not still believe me because as a last born. Now, for me to join the mentorship, I want to be a voice that has never been heard. When we have functions at home, I'm the little girl. Even when I'm married and having children, I'm the little one. And they'll be like, Agnes has also talked. That kind of like, they take you unserious. But I want to prove to people that it's us. It's the how did Jesus call it? The stone that was rejected became the cornerstone. I want to be that voice and touch people. God bless you.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Beautiful. It's a yearning heart that grows.